Welcome, gang, to episode 165 of the Planet Destiny podcast. This week, a lot happened in Destiny 2.
A lot
of news happened. Oh my god.
Yep.
So we're here to talk about it. TBL, Nim, and Moon wish that they could be here, but they had other things that they needed to do. So, in their stead, we have Mollymayisme and Zanifan711 from the stream team. Guys,
What's up?
that's you. That's you. Hey, guys, go ahead and introduce yourselves, what you do here on the channel, what you do at home when no one's watching, and what your favorite smell is.
Favorite smell? Go ahead,
Yes.
Molly. You can go first.
Okay, so I'm Molly, or Molly Ann. You can call me either one. Most people on Twitch call me Molly. I'm Mollymayisme on pretty much every relevant social media platform if you're interested in creeping on me. I stream on Planet Destiny every Tuesday on reset days, and I stream on my own channel almost every other day of the week except for my days off. I'm also going to be streaming on PD a little bit more coming up at the end of the month because we'll be doing the Dungeons and Destiny campaign, and I'm going to be part of that. So if you're interested, come hit that up. And my favorite smell, lavender at the moment.
Lavender. Nice.
Lavender. That's good. So what kind of what character are you bringing into this dungeons or the Dungeons and Destiny?
I will
campaign?
be playing a Sunsinger Warlock, an Awoken Sunsinger Warlock.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited. It's gonna be
Heck
good.
Zanifan711, sir.
What's up?
What you do here on the channel, what you do at home when no one's watching, and your favorite song.
Well, we're not going to talk about what I do at home when no one's watching, but on the channel.
All right.
I stream. I stream on Monday nights, usually about 6 to 10 Eastern. As far as in the Destiny community, I'm more of a variety streamer. It's like 50% Destiny, 50% other games. But my primary content is podcasts. I do 2 podcasts. One is called Barely a Destiny Show with my brother and some buds, and Dan's like on it almost every other episode.
Through no fault of my own.
Yeah, there were times when it's like, hey, Dan, we start the podcast in like 10 minutes. Do you want to come on? He's like, oh, yeah, let me just stop streaming real quick. And then my other podcast is it's called Lit Lore. It's in the same feed as Barely a Destiny Show. And it is basically drunk history for video game lore. A lot of Destiny, but we've also had like Kingdom Hearts and The Witcher so far, and hopefully some more of that content to come. But yeah, I like doing podcasts. So, and favorite smell is this is kind of weird, but I really like the smell of gasoline. I don't huff gasoline.
That is really weird.
But like,
that is really weird.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah, gasoline gives me headaches.
Real? Oh man,
Yeah,
gasoline.
It's strange, right? I'm a weirdo.
Okay. Well, you could. I guess you can keep that weirdo smell.
Yeah. You know.
So here on the Planet Destiny podcast, we are going to talk about Destiny. There was a lot in the news this week.
A lot has happened this week.
A lot
So much
in the news this week.
Oh my god.
So currently, what have you guys? Before we get into that, what have you guys been playing this week? Like in Destiny.
Pretty much just Destiny. I usually play mostly Destiny anyway, but like this week I have made so much progress on Solstice stuff.
Oh man.
Nice.
Like what gear sets are you guys working on?
I'm working on my Hunter gear set. I have my Warlock fully masterworked as of today. And then my Hunter green set is taking me forever because I have to get super kills in the Crucible, and I spent like 3 hours today, and I'm at like 40%. So I'm hating myself a little bit, But then I'm also going to be really extra and try to go for the Titan set as well, except my Titan doesn't exist yet. So I have to power grind through the story and then do all the Solstice stuff.
Ouch. No Titan. Feels bad.
Well, I only started on PC in like
Sounds about right to
April.
me.
So like I took my time creating multiple characters. So
Yeah. I only have a Titan on PC. I have been watching a lot of other people play Destiny. I worked 12 days straight the last 2 weeks, so I have not actually played Destiny since my last Planet Destiny stream, and I missed one in the middle there. So, yeah, it's been kind of rough. But I'm like trying to temper expectations, and Forsaken is going to be just so good that like I haven't really felt a super strong desire to get in there. But because I know I'm just going to know Life Forsaken. Everything just looks so good, you know?
Yeah.
So I've been taking this opportunity to, well, I haven't really had an opportunity.
That was a bad pun.
Always. You're talking to me.
Yeah, absolutely. All the time. All right, so let's get into the week's events. So we had a lot happen this week. We had the weapon reveals, the combat reveal stream, and how items will come up in how items will work in Destiny 2 going forward. We have hold on here.
Pulling up the twab.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the twab. It was up and then it was down.
Twab.
The twab. We had the live reveal on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Where they showed a bunch of different changes to the weapon system, such as whenever you masterwork something, it is now a tiered system that ingrains deeper and deeper into the gun and allows you to personalize a little bit more, like some of the mods that are coming to Destiny 2 and some that are leaving when Forsaken comes around. What are some of your guys' thoughts on the changes in the system?
I'm mostly excited about the new mod system because it's what everybody was kind of wanting and expecting at D2's launch, which is basically it's a perk. So the way that they're instituting it is fantastic. You get a legendary weapon. It's got a mod. If your roll sucks, because random rolls are going to be a thing, you can just dismantle that gun and you have the mod. And you can put
I didn't realize you were able to keep it. That's cool. Yeah,
when you dismantle a gun that has a mod, you keep the mod, and then you can put it into whatever gun you want. So when you get the Better Devils that has a good roll, you can put that mod that you liked from your crappy roll Better Devils into the good Better Devils. And I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
The thing that I'm most excited about, like the deepening of that system is excellent, but they're going to be also buffing the supers to get on par with the new supers that are coming.
Yes.
I think that's really good. Yeah, because there's some supers right now, like Stormcaller comes to mind. Stormcaller kind of sucks sometimes. So I'm excited for that one to get tweaked. I run Stormcaller a lot in the raid, and I think it has a lot of potential. It's just not quite where it needs to be.
Yeah, they said, spicy? They said Stormcaller is going to be spicy.
Called it spicy. They kept calling it spicy.
Yeah.
We got spicy ramen. We got spicy devils. Now we got spicy Stormcallers.
Right.
We also had Arcstrider. I'm kind of worried about that because there's already like pretty strong in Crucible. I feel like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially with like a more aggressive play style, and I'm just going to see more of that. I think.
Oh yeah.
Most likely, yeah.
As far as the new supers go, like I'm in a real bind here. I'm a Titan main. I play Sentinel mostly, and I run Top Tree, which is the one that has the bubble. And they didn't say in the stream, but they said later. Claude Jerome tweeted that the bubble's getting a buff, which makes the bubble have more health, and anyone inside the bubble does extra melee damage. And then shoulder charges, on the other hand, are going to be a one-hit kill. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I want to run shoulder charge or extra melee damage bubble. It's a tough decision. There is no both.
Both simultaneously.
So,
break the game.
But on top of that, also the melees are like, I believe I'm saying this correctly. The melees are getting a buff, right?
Yes.
So that
Two
they
hit
actually
melees.
can two hit.
Yep.
So you do that, then you have the bubble. You already have the 2-hit melee. You put on Syntheseps.
Oh, those don't ever come off.
Yeah. Okay. Well, never. I should defer to you. But like, yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure with Syntheseps, if more than one person's in your bubble, it's going to be a one-hit punch, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that'll be interesting.
Anime character.
And I can just have shotguns all the
I'm concerned
time.
with the one-shot shoulder charge, just because like on PC, Titan macro skating is a thing. So you're gonna have Titans come like whipping around a corner or like crossing massive distances and just absolutely annihilating you, but we'll see how it goes.
Your best chance is to just always have a shotgun.
True.
Yeah.
Which
I
you'll
run
be able
mostly
to
in PvP
have.
anyways.
Yeah.
Which you'll be able to have a week before Forsaken launches.
You can have 3 shotguns if you want to. 3.
Although Cosmo did display pretty fantastically how bad of a decision that is most of the time.
Yeah. I'm sure that's not going to stop some people, though.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely not. I'm going to try it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try just to give it a go. See what I think.
Yeah. Why not?
See, I don't know. I think I'm going to stick with the mainly D1 like loadout system.
I think I will too. Once I get settled into everything, I'm probably going to go back to like a D1 system.
I'm probably going to run a fusion rifle, a shotgun, and like play of the game or something. Something dumb like that.
Interesting.
Why not?
Well, and also in the TWAB this week, they talked about how between now and preload, this is from the TWAB this week. Between now and the preload on August 28th, use your year 1 mods to lock in the elemental damage type you want for your year 1 weapons. They will retain that damage type after the mod deprecation. So like lock that in now. If you have like a favorite gun, if your Manananan's like a Void Manananan, put that in there. If you like your Ikelos SMG on Arc like I do, throw that on before the deprecation of those mods, because they will stay that way.
Or just make one of
28th.
each.
Yeah, make one of each.
That's probably what I'm going to do with a lot of my favorite weapons, like the Requiem 45 Pulse from...
Oh, it's so good.
From Ana Bray. It's like, it's my baby because I loved Hawksaw in D1, and it's the closest gun I found to Hawksaw in D2. And right now I have a Void one, which is usually my favorite element weapon to run, but I'm probably going to end up like collecting more and having one of each type. Just so I have the flexibility for that.
Why not?
Yeah.
That's excellent.
That way, once a week, when the singe is the same singe across the whole game, you can just like keep that one equipped. You know?
Yep.
That's true.
Yep.
That is true. Like that's a really smart design decision on their part.
Yeah.
Like it allows them to like level the playing field for everybody. You're already going to be thinking about what all these different random rolls can do, what these new effects for the armor are, that haven't been discussed yet, correct?
Yeah, they haven't really gone into much
know,
about the armor, except for the only thing they've touched on in armor is that armor mods are going to be kind of similar, except they're kind of doubling down on it. So, say you want really fast melee recharge because you're a Titan and you want a shoulder charge all the time, you can put 5 melee recharge mods on, 1 in each place.
I didn't realize they were going to stack.
They're opening it up and they're increasing the amount of like the effectiveness of those mods. So if you're running 5 melee recharge mods, 1 on each armor piece, you're going to have your melee all the time. You can do it with grenades too. You can do it with your class ability, and I'm sure there's going to be more than just that as well for the mods.
I'm kind of hoping we get the grenade throw perk back.
Yeah.
Because that was so helpful
Catapult?
in D1. Yeah.
Yeah. That was one of my favorites, where you'd just toss it and then you do the layup
Yep.
shot.
Kobe.
And just Kobe.
Yeah.
You got it.
There
You
you
took
go.
down that tank. Congratulations.
Nailed it.
You win.
Yeah, exactly. And they did say too that grenades are they upped the damage and stuff for grenades, but not a one-hit kill. They do not want sticky nades everywhere again. So
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, I'd like the fact that stickies aren't a one-hit kill anymore, and I would be pretty disappointed if they took us back to that.
I'm imagining like one shot from a hand cannon and a sticky will do it though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Especially with them going back to like 3-tap with headshots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
All right,
I really
180s are a 3-tap. What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I really like that change with making it a precision buff rather than just like an all-around weapon buff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, just like I'm a guy who hits the body. I'm not that great at it.
Oh yeah, I'm the terrible shot.
Occasionally I'll hit that headshot that works, but in Destiny 2 it's taken so much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, I'm really excited about that. They've talked about in that same paragraph, some weapons will be moving to the kinetic slot and not retain elemental damage regardless of what mod you had applied.
Yeah.
And the Ikello sniper rifle and shotgun will be locked to solar, so you'll have certain types that are just locked no matter what. You can't throw mods on them to lock them down. You just get them as you get them. And they listed a bunch of the legendary weapons that will be moving to the kinetic slot. So you have the Balligant, Shepherd's Watch, Hawthorne's Field Forged Shotgun, Alone as a God, Perfect Paradox, the Frigid Jackal, and the Silicon Neuroma. So there's several like snipers in here, and you have like your like at least with Hawthorne's and Perfect Paradox, you have those rapid firing shotguns.
Yep.
Right.
That are fully auto.
Which kind of sucks.
Yeah, like it's. I don't know. I always use those weapons to take down shields. So.
Well, yeah, they're taking away the
thing.
boop cannon melt, basically.
Right, and that's what they're doing by locking the Ichalo stuff too. The one shotgun that I'm glad they're not moving, and the one that I have already switched to Void, is Zenith of Your Kind, the raid shotgun.
Yeah, from the raid.
Yep.
Because that one has a similar rate of fire as like Hawthorne's, but it's not moving to the kinetic slot. It's staying as, I'm assuming it's staying as a heavy because they haven't said otherwise yet. So, and that one pairs really well with Tractor.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It could be moving to special.
Yeah, it might be moving to the special slot. I don't know yet.
We can only hope.
Yeah.
Then you can
One
personally
can only
boop
dream.
and switch to that yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
Any other thoughts before we move on to the Dreaming City?
Icarus as a mod
Oh yeah.
is going to go on like everything.
Oh, interesting.
And we also learned that Cosmo can't jump and shoot at the same time.
I mean, big mood. I can't do that either.
Well, to his credit, he was single jumping, and come on, Cosmo. Double jump, be in the air longer, and then you can land those in-air headshots.
Yeah.
That was hilarious, by the way.
Oh man, anything is better than people crouching.
Right?
Personally, oh my god. That is
I
the
do
bane
think
of
it's
my
interesting
existence.
they're bringing back like the whole like in-air accuracy thing and making it a mod this time.
Yeah. There's a lot of really cool mods. There's one that will bring your radar back quicker after you go back to
Interesting.
release ADS. There's basically a new hidden hand, which looks stupid good.
Ooh.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of old D1 perks are coming back in the form of mods, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, that's gonna be really good. I know that's like attracting to a lot of people who haven't maybe played D2 as much because it doesn't have some of the stuff that D1 had. So I think that's gonna be bringing a lot of people back to give that a try.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. I don't know. All right. So moving on to the Dreaming City. So we get a good look at this. We get a look at the dream. We get a look at the curse. We have Petrovenge right at the beginning. What, like, I'm really excited for this space. Not only like because it will be entirely wrapped around the end game experience.
Yep.
Right.
But because you can go in you could go in solo or with a small fire team if you.
6-man fire team.
Yep.
Yeah. Like that to me speaks like about where they're wanting to take the game as a whole. I really hope that they open that up to different locations as well.
Like, oh yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
but spaghetti code, so
yeah,
we'll see.
Super spaghetti code. But what, like, from watching the trailer, what were some of your like thoughts?
I honestly am just like so excited because I've loved the Awoken from like day one of picking up Destiny. And I'm really excited to see this more personal side of them. Also, Petra's back, and I love Petra so much. So I'm just really excited to delve into the location. It's stunningly beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It is so pretty. And I cannot wait to explore like the whole entire thing.
Yeah. So do you think that every part of like the parts that they're showing in the trailer, I'm just watching it right now. They're showing a lot of stuff that could be raid material.
It looks very raid material, like especially some of the jumping puzzles and stuff. That was the vibe I got as well.
But I feel like we'll be seeing like some of that stuff. It looks like they have a EP like the escalation protocol like in here.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's been confirmed that basically there's an escalation protocol type event in the Dream
I would
City.
hope that eventually they spread EP pretty much all the way to almost all the locations, because escalation protocol I really enjoy doing, and I'd love to be able to do it on other planets and get like different gear and different rewards and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be really great.
Yeah.
Especially if they were themed around the majority enemy class of that space.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the rewards for it right now are so Warmind themed. I think it would be really, really cool if they branched that out.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Zanifan.
All right, so two things in that trailer really stood out to me. One is the end game content type stuff that it seems like, having played a lot of MMOs through in my past, it looks like very MMO-esque, in which, so it's an end game location. They've been saying that over and over and over again. And they also said that it changes over time. So what I'm gathering is there's going to be raid kind of activities in the Dreaming City that are going to lead towards the raid, basically. So my spin foil about that is basically like, you're going to go to the Dreaming City and there's going to be like single raid encounter type things. And as you go through the Dreaming City, you're going to unlock the next part, and then the next part, and then the next part. And so I would think something more like a tiered raid system, where these say you go in and there's like 3 activities that you can do and you can actually accomplish as soon as you get there. And then those things drop gear that will raise your power level to the point where you can do the next set of like raid type encounters, and so on until you get to the actual raid. So, because they did say that leveling up your Guardian is going to be harder, and it's going to be more of a big deal to have a higher power. So I think in order to get to the final raid, you're going to have to get through several tiers of raid-like encounters and gear up to get to that next encounter until you're finally leveled up and geared up to take on that big bad in the end. And then the other thing I'm excited about are the lore implications that we get. And I have no idea what they are, but there's
stuff there for sure.
There's Tachyon witches that have taken arms.
Yep.
Yes.
What is that?
Yep. And they very clearly, like at one point in the trailer, I noticed they like attack you. And so you're going to be fighting them. And usually they are not an enemy.
Yeah.
There is a lot of Taken themes for sure, which I'm kind of wondering because then when I was watching the trailer for the first time, I was thinking a lot about like Savathun because Savathun, I was really actually surprised that Forsaken wasn't about Savathun because they've literally been hinting at her since like day one.
Yeah.
And so I was expecting the first like year 2 expansion to be about her. I've heard some lore people, Bife I know for sure was talking kind of about this, and then I've seen a couple other tweets about it, where like he was hoping that Savathun wasn't going to be the boss of the Dreaming City raid, and I don't want her to be either. But there's definitely a lot of Taken themes, so I'm wondering if we might not at least like learn more about her, or like the threat would get like really revealed or something like that. She's probably bound to be tied to it somehow.
Yeah. Well, we have several more like of these like mini expansions coming up over the next few like months.
Yeah.
Over the next year after Forsaken launches. It wouldn't surprise me if she popped up somewhere in one of those, possibly. Like because they're not going to be like huge story expansions.
Right. It's going to be more like the Taken Spring we got in D1.
Yeah. I'm honestly hoping that Savathun is not in this at all, because
that's what I'm hoping as well. I don't want her to be in it.
From the Books of Sorrow, we thought Oryx was like a big deal, right? And then we killed him. And then Savathun seems to be like a much bigger deal because the Books of Sorrow are from Oryx's perspective. And there's a card, I can't remember which exactly it is, but Savathun, in this card, Savathun's basically like, be careful what you pull from this. You know, there's multiple perspectives on that story, and we only got one so far. And then everyone seems to be forgetting about Xivu Arash. And from what we know about the 3, Savathun seems to be like the smart one, like the one that
she's
you
the
really should fear the most. So I would hope if we're going to get a sister in Forsaken, that is Xivu Arath, and they save Savathun for later.
I didn't think of that.
That's kind of goofy. That's the implications of that are huge.
Yeah.
Because Xivu Arath is the brute. She took the night form.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's literally just, hey, I want to kill stuff over and over again.
She's the brutal one.
Yeah. And then, you know, there's implications of Eris maybe coming back, which would be the perfect time for her to come back, is this expansion.
Either this one or the Savathun expansion, because Eris has been in the lore tied to the Queen and tied to the Awoken for so long that I would be pretty disappointed if they didn't take that chance to either bring her back with Forsaken or when Savathun finally gets revealed. Because at this point, like, it's almost guaranteed that we're going to have a Savathun-related expansion at some point in the game's lifespan.
Oh, yeah.
If they didn't at this point, I'd be really confused.
Right. And we know Zol's probably coming back, too.
Right.
Yeah, it feels like they're just trickling out the NPCs, like just slowly but surely.
Yeah.
And like they did the same thing with D1, but like now it almost feels excruciating because we got Osiris.
Yeah.
Now we have it, like, then we got Annabray, and Osiris wasn't necessarily what everybody like had envisioned at the outset. Then you have Annabray, who's like an ultimate badass.
I love Anna.
Yeah.
They did her pretty good justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
I don't think Osiris is done.
You don't think so?
No.
I hope he's
by any means.
I hope for sure.
They gave us a glimpse into one small piece of what Osiris is like in Curse of Osiris, which is literally like all he did was focus about the what's it called? The Infinite Forest. That's all he cared about in that expansion. He had a singular focus. He accomplished said goal, and then he went back into there. That means there's more to the Vex than we know yet. And he's the one that knows the most about the Vex. And we only learned a teeny portion about him. And he's huge. Osiris is such a big deal. I think that Destiny being as thin as it was literally just laying... I'm saying literally so much. Sorry, I know mixed.
Literally you are, yeah.
Was just laying the groundwork for deeper storylines for these characters.
Yeah. Do you think in D2 we'll see Saint 14 come back?
Man,
I don't think he'll be alive. I actually today, because I've been trying to grind out the prophecy weapons for Sagira's Shell for Solstice, which, oh my god, that's so much work.
Yeah. If you didn't do that out at the outset, it is a grind.
It's a grind. But I've gotten like 5 done in like a week. So there's that. But going back to the Saint 14 thing, I just got the mission today for one of the prophecies for the Saint 14 quest. The like first mission about it. And I've seen like the end game of that. I know how the mission ends. And I think based off of that, I would kind of assume that Saint 14 is fully dead. I don't know if we're gonna like revisit him again. I would like to. Maybe we'll come across memories of him somewhere in the forest if we ever really have a story that sends us back in there. But as much as I'd like to learn more about his character, I don't know if they're going to give us the chance to do that.
Well, I mean, he gave us his shotgun, but we're supposed to give him his shotgun. Yeah. And the storyline is so good. Like, that is the best story in all of Curse of Osiris, and they really did set up a perfect paradox.
Yeah. They set up a I'm my own grandpa situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially.
I don't know. I was just thinking about that the other day by looking at that lore tab, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be interesting if we do get to see him.
I hope because of the fact that they do set it up with perfect paradox, I hope they eventually like actually let us go back and do that. But they might just leave it as like a hanging thread, unfortunately.
Right. We also could have already given it to him previously.
Right. And
that's
off screen, quote unquote.
That is one of the ones that has moved to the kinetic slot. So if they were going to make it like kind of debuff it a little bit so that not everybody was using it, maybe for like dogs or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe, that would be a good way to do it. But anyways, enough of the spin foil. I'm sorry. Let's get back into the notes here that we have. So along with the changes that are coming in the TWAB, we see a change to the investment system, such as the power grind and the exotics coming up.
I'm excited about this a lot.
Yeah. Oh man, why do I keep closing the TWAB? Zanifan, do you have it up? And can you like read about some of the changes that are coming to Destiny 2 with the Forsaken?
I'm trying to find it, but I'm going to go off memory right off the bat. Basically, with the investment system, they want the challenge of the activities that you're doing to reward you accordingly. Basically, what I'm getting from this is that the harder the activity, the more rewarding the gear you're going to get. So, which is very RPG element type stuff where, okay, so say you do the raid and it's extremely difficult, you're going to be given rewards that are at that level of the raid. And then say you're doing a Nightfall, you're going to get Nightfall level rewards. So if you're drastically under leveled doing extremely challenging things, you're going to get rewarded accordingly, and you're going to get bigger bumps to your power level by doing those harder activities. However, they're also making it so that you're always going to be slowly building your power level. So say you're power 500 and you're helping your buddy who's power 400 level up, you're always going to have at least a little bit of a bonus to your power level from the drops you get by helping your buddy that's lower power level. So always moving forward, that's basically getting rid of the power level walls that we've been hitting. Like I think a lot of people have been struggling at 345, you know?
345, 365. And then I've kind of gotten stuck at like 370. What really just bumped me over was the Solstice gear.
Yeah. So basically, it's the more challenging the activity, the more rewarding the gear is going to be as far as your power level, and exotics will always be better than what you have equipped.
I love that.
Yes.
I think that's super important.
That is a major change that they needed to make, because like some of the stuff. What's the the Hunter Gauntlet? That's like the Mechaneer's trick sleeves.
Yeah.
When was the last time you ever used that or saw someone using it?
That exotic does not get used at all. I don't even know what the perk is on that because I just don't remember that the exotic even exists.
They even updated
barely
it, and
remember
it's
the
still not really used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they tweak it further to make it something more useful.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's just like I want to feel like there are certain weapons that feel powerful as exotics. Like the tractor cannon is just
Yep.
stupid fun.
Oh yeah.
And like it feels exotic. The Whisper of the Worm, I just masterworked that this past like
Whisper.
today.
I
Oh
still
my
don't have
god.
it.
Oh dude.
You
we'll have
gotta
to go
get
in.
it. It's like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
put off getting it for a couple of weeks. Not
Mhm.
for any particular reason. I just like didn't get around to getting a group together to run me through it. And then one of my friends was like, Molly, Whisper right now. And he ran me through it. And like, I haven't taken it off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
now that I have it, I almost have not been using anything else because it's just so much fun.
Yeah, the one time I had the opportunity to run it, I got in twice and was like learning the jumping puzzle, and
Yeah.
then I watched 3 Cabal events and quit, and was really glad that I did. Because if you were watching
Okay.
Dan's stream, that was when there
Oh.
was 10 hours of straight Cabal events.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that on Twitter. That was terrible.
So a lot of people reference that as when Dan descended into madness live.
That is very true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
And I just haven't had time to get back in there yet. My
Yeah.
job sucks.
It's so nice. It's such a nice gun.
Yeah.
It
it's
feels like a D1 gun.
Mhm.
yes.
It
100%
really feels
that.
like, and obviously because it's essentially spindle, but like
Mhm.
it feels like it rather than
Yeah.
just being like, these two. It's like 2 parallel lines. Like this is spindle again, which is really cool. I love that.
All I
Well,
know is
especially-
that my favorite gun, Fighting Lion,
Mhm.
is I don't know. We still don't know what the masterwork is, but with the weapon slot changes and stuff, I don't think it's going to be as viable, and I'm sad about it.
Yeah.
That's possible.
So we'll see.
How sad does it make you feel, Zanny?
Extremely
like on a scale
sad.
of like 1 to 10.
Like 11.
11.
Because I like that gun is probably going to get tattooed on me somewhere. Like it's my favorite gun
Oh my God.
in either Destiny. Love it so much because everyone hates it, and it's actually really good. So hopefully they figure out a way to make it continue to be really good. But yeah.
Anytime I come up against it in PvP, I'm like, I can't even be mad because it's just so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well,
just a
usually
dumb
the kill feed doesn't
weapon.
show Fighting Lion. It's the other guns or your punch that gets the kill.
Right.
So when you actually get a Fighting Lion kill, you know they're getting mad.
Yeah.
I love it. It's the trolliest gun in the game.
Oh man. So moving on, they talk about the milestones. The milestone tray has been revamped in Forsaken and will now specifically show the most important non-repeatable quests for every player of D2. The campaign quests are a good example of this. Meanwhile, our world quests for destinations will now live in the pursuit section of your character inventory. Many milestones from year 1 have been converted to activity challenges, and these will continue to grant powerful rewards, but they will no longer be displayed in the milestone tray. When you access the director, you will see activity challenges in the tooltip of the associated activity. Now, so then they show the map, the tray that they're going to be using for Destiny, for Forsaken.
Mm-hmm.
You have all the destinations here along the bottom. Instead of the blue and the red of the strikes and the crucible, you now have the 3 nodes that mark the Vanguard, Gambit, the new activity that's kind of a mixture of PvE and PvP, nestled in between the strikes called the Vanguard and the Crucible.
Mm-hmm.
And all the way on the right hand side of the screen, you have the Tangled Shore. Now, they have commented on this, and bereft from this tray are the raids from the first year of Destiny 2. However, if it has been stated on Twitter that if you go to Nessus, the raids will appear there just off of that map. So you still have access to that in the long run.
Probably how the farm shows up in Earth.
Probably.
Rip the farm.
That's what I would assume. So
Can we all
I'm
pour
so
one out
sad.
for the farm?
So I was just talking about this when I was playing with my friends earlier. Like the farm makes me so sad. There isn't even an Eververse rep in there, and they put
Right.
Eververse reps everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they had the chance to make it like a secondary location, kind of like they had with the Reef in
Mm-hmm.
D1, where like you could go there if you wanted to. But they just didn't. The only person they have there is Tyra. And like, oh, so you could go there to decrypt your engrams, but like, what's the point? But
Right.
it's such a beautiful location, and it was something I was so looking forward to, and it's just empty.
Yeah.
It's just so empty.
Please bring back the farm.
Honestly.
Yeah.
We didn't even have to have a new tower, other than the
Mhm.
proximity to the city. Like, we didn't have to have that.
Right.
Could have just left it at the farm.
Yeah. Well, and like I think Nim's favorite music that he uses
Yeah.
for videos and stuff comes from the farm.
That's one of my favorite themes as well. That one and the IO music.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, the IO music.
So good.
One of the things that like, so going back to that farm, like conversation with these raids, I'm really glad that we're getting a new raid and a new raid aesthetic
Mm-hmm.
coming
Me too.
forth, because like the gold, I love the gold. I love how intricate everything looks in the Leviathan raids
Yes.
and the layers, but yeah, I just
You're
need
over
a
it.
different flavor of something. Yeah, I
We've
need a
been there
different
for a
flavor
year.
of something.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's
I
all
agree.
gold all the time. I'm sick of gold.
I love the raid gear. The raid chest piece is like the one singular good warlock chest piece to ever exist. But
For now.
it's gonna be for now. But it's gonna be
Yeah.
really nice to just have something new, something fresh, something different.
And the way that they're doing these the milestones basically in its new way is fantastic, because like basically how it's going to work, you say you want to play the Crucible, you scroll over the Crucible, boom, there's your Crucible milestones. Say you want to do strikes, you scroll over strikes, boom, there's all your milestones for strikes, and it lists out over that specific playlist the things that you can do in those playlists to get your powerful rewards. And the way they make it sound in this description, it says our world crests for destinations will now live in the pursuit section. Means that they're doubling down on the bounties, and you're going to have a lot more things to do with bounties, because that's basically the only thing that is in your pursuits right now, aside from your...
It feels really good to have bounties back.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I just I got to remember to go get them. I never remember to go get those bounties.
Because we've been conditioned not to.
Yep.
I always would forget in D1 though too. Like, I can't count how many times I'd like spend 20 minutes in the tower doing my business, and then I'd leave to go do an activity, load into the activity, and then be like, fuck, I forgot my bounties. Go all the way back to the tower again, just to go all the way back to the location. So good to know that old habits don't die hard.
At
Die
least,
hard? Yeah, they die hard.
at least you don't have to go all the way back again to then turn them back in before you can pick up more.
Right.
Yes.
Like you can
Thank
now
God.
just... That is one thing that they kept that is really nice from D1
Mhm.
when it comes to bounties.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I always forget to pick them up too. And it's like, it's not for lack of wanting to. Also, kids, if you're going to do the challenges for Solstice of Heroes, and someone says to you, "Oh yeah, those count as challenges," do not believe them.
They don't.
They don't. They totally don't. I tried that out, and ugh, it was a rough. I shouldn't have trusted that person. They were there for 5 minutes. Shouldn't have trusted it. Activities. Yeah, they already talked about the base strike playlist for Destiny 2. Forsaken players have been updated to feature difficulty selection and modifiers.
Dope.
Heroic strikes are being retired on August 28th with Destiny Update 2.0.
Dope.
Forsaken players. The strike playlist has 3 difficulties to select from: power level 300, power 400, and power 500. Once you're 40 power over a given playlist, it will no longer appear as an option for you to select. That is really awesome.
Yeah.
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 Keep things challenging.
Mm-hmm. And like, especially that it doesn't, you're not able to drop back down. Say if you wanted to go do like a quick run for something.
Mm-hmm. Now, I
you're not
wonder,
able.
I know, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Say you're helping a friend to level up and they're power level 300, but you're power level 400. If they're fire team leader, I wonder if you can get pulled into their power 300 strike.
I'm hoping so. It
Yeah.
would make sense because the matchmaking is being made off of, or the activity is being unlocked off of their power level. So I would kind of hope that they would let you tag along. It's almost like the reverse of somebody being pulled into hard mode on a raid without
Yeah.
actually having unlocked hard mode themselves, but
Right.
because everybody else is pulling them in, they can do it, kind of thing.
Well, it's kind of like it kind of feels like it. Well, with Solstice of Heroes, what people have been doing is like they have like their green buddy go in and start the mission up, and
Yep,
then
the
they'll
Redux
jump in with the
missions.
blue. Yeah. They'll jump in with the blue armor, and it still counts.
Yeah.
Because I've been playing so much Solstice this week. To be honest, though, the difference between the two mission sets are not that different. The only differences that I've noticed are there's slightly more yellow bars in the blue.
In the blue, yeah.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Otherwise, the difficulty is pretty much the same. And you can go in with a group of 3 in pretty much either mission set and like just run right through them. They're not really that different at all.
Yeah, we were talking about like somebody in our clan had done. They went in with the green, and then they swapped out to the blue because they purchased another green set immediately.
Interesting.
Yeah. So instead of having a buddy do it for them, they were able to just swap that out.
I've heard that works as well, which is
also
cool...
technically what also works is you can go in because you have to have all the armor set on to unlock the mission, but you can completely change all of your pieces aside from the one piece that needs that mission, and then you don't have to wear your whole set to finish it. I have been just on the principle of things, and also it helps with the orb production. But...
For sure.
Yeah. So excuse me, I spoke wrong earlier. That is for Forsaken players. So Forsaken players will have the power 500, power 400, and power 300 that they won't be able to dip down into.
Yep.
Legacy
It's a huge
players,
difference.
AKA cheapskate players, as we've christened them on Barely a Destiny show.
Wow. Harsh.
Making enemies.
Buy the expansion. Come on.
Does not care. Legacy players, the strike playlist matches the legacy playlist that is currently available in year 1. Recommended power 200 strikes will have modifiers. Probably not gonna get much gear from that.
Nope.
So between August 28th and September 4th, modifiers will be unavailable for all strike playlists. Keep that.
Interesting.
I guess keep that in your calendar.
Yeah.
Well, they're changing those up entirely. It sounds like, right? Because the Nightfall activity is also being revisited for season 4. Prestige difficulty is being retired, but the base difficulty for the Nightfall activity will increase. Additionally, players will have the ability to choose one of 3 Nightfall strikes a week. I like that change a lot.
Oh my god, it's going to be great.
Yeah. Because just as they say in here, you're able to grind out 4 of those unique rewards if you so choose to. And that's going to be bonkers. While having 3 options, players may only select the strikes for which they own the appropriate expansions. That's kind of like a duh.
That's a given.
Yep.
Yeah.
They will still be able to enable the modifiers via the challenge card, however.
Only cheapskate players.
Oh my god. The one thing that's nice, like the one thing about the current Nightfall system that has kind of confused me is that heroic strikes right now are harder than the regular Nightfall.
Yeah.
Right.
And that seems so backwards to me because the Nightfall has always been like ultimate, like pinnacle end game strike.
It's supposed to be the premier 3-man activity.
Right. Right. And I know why they did that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm really, really glad that moving forward, they're completely revamping it. So it makes more sense now to have the heroic, or not even heroic strikes, although I'm probably still going to call them that out of habit. The regular strikes be under the Nightfall and have the Nightfall go back up to that like pinnacle experience again, because that's definitely the way it should be.
Yeah.
Like both in like logically in the way you play the
Mhm.
game, and then just like in the story, the way they always talk about the Nightfall. It's like the regular Nightfall is not supposed to be a walk in the park.
Right.
No, not at all.
No. You're not, man. So so people were complained about the time limit, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
like
I am glad they took that out, because
Yeah.
you were always stuck between, plus first off, things
It's
with
still
time
there,
limits
though.
give me anxiety. It's still there, but only as a modifier on prestige. So like you don't
Mhm.
have to use it unless you want
Right.
to. But you were
Yeah.
always stuck between like racing to beat the timer and then taking your time to get as much score as possible. I'm always like,
Mhm.
what's it supposed to be then?
Yeah. It's well, and you can also it feels kind of like weird with the system as it is right now
Mm-hmm.
that you're able to do two things that like first of all, like you have the arc singe, and then you can do heavy, like the one that increases
Heavyweight.
Yeah, heavyweight.
Heavyweight.
The one,
Mhm.
yeah, it increases that, and then you could do nothing else
Yep.
Right.
and just use that for the grind.
Which makes
that-
it easier than the 270 version.
Yes.
Right. Putting like heavyweight and like grenadier on just makes
Mhm.
prestige just like easy mode.
Yeah.
Yep.
It just like I feel like maybe when they were designing that, they should have included like you have to choose one that benefits you and one that's a negative. Like,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
after that, go bananas or
Yeah.
like
Like a good would
Go
you
nuts.
rather situation. You've got to have
Yeah.
a bad thing to go with the good thing.
yeah.
I think that would be better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking at you, JC Jesse.
Moving forward, so we have meditations. They're taking those out and replacing them with the heroic story playlist. So the new campaign missions will be featured at 500 power, with old campaign missions, while old campaign missions will be set to a power level relative to the release. They're also going to be removing that legendary gear from the from Ikora Ray.
Yep.
Mhm.
So if you want to
from
do
that entire
Solstice,
thing. Yeah, you have to do Solstice in order to have gear that looks relatively like what you were using in
Yep.
the
And you can
beginning of
technically
Destiny
still
1,
get,
Destiny 2.
because Ikora's meditations are like a perk for one of the each of the armor sets for the green.
Mhm.
So I've been able to, like, I got the bond today for the warlocks, which I hadn't taken the time to go complete meditations yet on PC.
Yeah.
But even just through doing the meditations on my hunter and my warlock, I've already gotten one of the pieces. So it's kind of nice because you can do both at the same time. You can either get the Solstice gear, which looks fantastic, or you
Mhm.
can still go back and get the like OG armor.
I don't
Yeah.
mind
It
this so
kind of
much.
makes sense that they're taking it out.
Yeah, I haven't done a meditation since week 2.
Yeah, I used to do them a lot, and then now I
Yeah.
just like forgot.
I did a meditation, like it feels like it should have been like the natural progression of what we had in D1, where
Mhm.
we had that heroic strike playlist or the heroic like mission playlist.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't know, just it was one of those things that, like a lot of other things that changed in Destiny 2, it just didn't kind of sit right, or it didn't like
Yeah. Also, who
it
wants to
felt
go
like-
to that part of the tower?
yeah. I mean, I constantly forget to go see Hawthorne,
Yeah.
and even Benedict down below. I just don't see him anymore.
That whole
Yeah.
side of the tower, like, why?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really
One of the
wanna go
reasons
there.
I don't pledge to New Monarchy is because, like, I don't want to run all the way to the opposite end of the tower.
But they make you.
100%.
Don't like that.
100%.
I think I have a theory that the only reason New Monarchy won so many faction rallies in the first like 2 seasons of year 1 was because no one wanted to run all the way back across the whole tower to the other side to get Dead Orbit or Future War Cult. So they were just like, whatever, I'm just going to pledge New Monarchy because I'm here. Or they didn't know and they just finished their thing by pledging to New Monarchy because
Right.
that's the last one. So they're just
Yep.
like haphazardly, I don't really care, I'm not paying attention, pledging to New Monarchy. It's the only reason.
I think that is a distinct possibility.
Solid theory. Anybody in the chat say otherwise? Moving on.
Nope. Moving on.
Nope. Moving on.
Future work.
Done deal. So they're adding heroic adventures to all the destinations, which is a really cool thing.
Hell
Yep.
yeah.
The adventures are really cool.
Yes.
Yes.
Since I've been going back and doing so many of them, some of the stories and some of the adventures are like fantastic. It's so cool.
And the heroic ones are way better than the regular ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm down with this one.
Man, if I never have to see Mercury again, it'll be too soon. But so, like that one mission that's kind of like an early Hive Horde mode.
Mm-hmm.
That adventure. That's like the only one that I enjoy running on. And it's just like the difficulty of it, like all of them coming from all sides and you're just alone. So they're also adding activity modifiers. We shared across heroic adventures, it's mission strikes, etc. We already kind of talked about that a little bit earlier in the show. That will include a weekly singe, one daily buff, and one debuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
The Brawler and Grenadier modifiers will have the recharge times adjusted. Adjusting your equipment for either also has a rather significant impact. So that's going to be pretty awesome in the long run. They're also taking out a lot of your tokens from
Good.
Yeah. They're taking whole economies out and exchanging them for what we know in Destiny 1 speak as just the economy.
Yes.
They're like the change to planetary materials is long overdue, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. When's the last time you picked up a planetary material on purpose?
I actually pick them up pretty frequently.
Really?
I don't do anything with them. Well, if I have the chance to like turn them in, I will. But like you don't get anything for them. So like I've hoarded like Dusklight for a little while. And in hindsight, I'm kind of glad I have, because of the fact that I'm now going to need them.
Yep.
In a way, like I'm really glad, even though like the D1 player in me remembers how much of a pain in the ass that can be. But I'm also really glad they're actually giving planetary materials like a purpose again.
Yes, as opposed to like it counts for 2 tokens.
Right. Like you'd think that they would help you level up faster. You still need like 100 of one planetary material.
Yeah.
To get a full level, and that's crazy. If they were supposed to like help you level up faster, it should have been like chunks of experience at one time, and it's not.
The only reason I've been picking them up is because I've been conditioned from playing MMOs for like 15 years that if there's something you can click, you click it.
So they say destination materials will become your main source. Materials will be part of the cost to infuse different weapons and armor across your arsenal. That's an interesting change. Yep. I like that a lot. You have anything previously granted destination tokens or rare materials will reward common destination materials moving forward. They're changing up the gunsmith in season 4.
That's really good.
Yes. So it now requires 100 gunsmith materials instead of 40. Yep. And Iron Banner, Vanguard, and Crucible tokens earned in season 3 may be redeemed at the respective vendors through season 4.
So those basically aren't changing.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And the elephant in the room in this, they kind of like tucked it away in this section where they said Trials of the Nine will be on hiatus during season 4 and its reputation tokens will not be redeemable. At this time, we have not yet determined whether its currency will be used when it returns.
Kind of doubt it's going to be.
Yeah, they're really moving away from the whole like tokens thing, which I think is a really good idea because I heard a lot of people talking. It obviously is less of a discussion topic now, but when Destiny 2 first came out, people like, I don't know, it felt arcadey to a lot of people, which I totally like agree with. And I think it's a really good thing that they're giving us an entire season's break from Trials because not only is it going to push the boundaries for a lot of content creators, which I think is cool and interesting, it's going to be cool to see people adapt, but it's also going to really give them the chance to really workshop the game type, because like, for crying out loud, when you have a team comprised of Ramblin', Ninja with Noel, Lupo, and God, Mtashed? Who was their fourth? They couldn't go flawless on in trials on PC.
Yeah.
When you have that happen, you know it's bad. Like, I'm really, really glad they're taking the time to like workshop the whole thing.
Well, the biggest thing is that it's trials is just competitive with tokens, with different tokens. So why are you going to play trials when you can grind competitive for Redrix? You know, so what this says to me is that they're going to take the time and they're going to make trials special again, because in D1, trials was the premier activity for PvP.
It was unique. It was special. It was different.
When you saw someone in trials gear, you knew they were really good at PvP. Like the same way that you see when you see someone with Redrix, you're like, wow, that person's really good at competitive. So they're going to have to make it different from competitive in order to make it relevant, and they're also going to have to make it more rewarding than competitive.
Yeah.
And if they do those two things, then when it comes back, it's going to be fantastic, and we're going to see a lot more trials carries. We're going to see the Twitch streams do a lot better.
Because right now, like, trials isn't a priority for a lot for
no one cares.
Not the way it used to be.
No one cares at all.
I talked with Rhythm for my other podcast, Side Quest Sunday, and he was just like, yeah, I used to do trial stuff. Now it's not so much. Like, for the most part. And like, it's such a shame, because like, I remember when that was like almost the game savior of Destiny.
Trials put D1 on the map.
Yeah, 100%.
Trials really put D1 on the map.
Yes. Like, that progressed it into something that people would want to watch, even when like it felt like maybe your friends were starting to fall off of it. And like, I was just watching like, so I went flawless last year with Puben and was rewatching it. And like, yeah, there were a lot of people that were like, specifically in his chat, just talking him up and like talking strategies and stuff. And like, I've checked in a couple of times and it doesn't feel like that anymore. Plus, it maybe gives them a way to really focus on Gambit.
Yeah.
For this season.
Yeah.
Like, kind of make that the premier prestigious PvE PvP mode that people want to see in the long run.
Yeah.
Like, especially like you, Molly, you were there. Did you watch the tournament at Guardian Con this year?
I missed most of it because I was not at the con almost at all on Friday because I was getting tattooed. And so I missed a lot of it. I tuned in for part of it, so I was like watching it on the stream. But I missed some of it, unfortunately. I did get to see some people, like I was standing outside the Bungie booth watching some people play Gambit, so I did get to see that, which was kind of cool. But
it was really cool, like, because like hearing the auditorium go when like something big would happen.
Yeah, I was bummed I missed that, because sitting through the tourney during Guardian Con last year was so cool. And I love that experience of just like hearing the crowd go crazy over like some cool play or whatever. So yeah, I'm excited for Gambit. I think it has a lot of potential and a lot of promise.
Absolutely. Zanny, what are your thoughts going forward on that?
Yeah, I mean, kind of along the same lines. Like, I would just, I want trials to be relevant again. You know, I want the excitement. I want it to be meaningful. Like, I went flawless once in D2. I was carried by my dude. Shout out to NA Vandals. And my clan got an engram.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And the trials engrams don't even give you trial stuff anymore. I liked when it used to give you trials like weapons and stuff like that and shaders, but it doesn't anymore. It's just like I just get Crucible gear. I'm like, thanks. I already have this gun.
Yeah.
Like, I think that they have the potential to give Trials that special experience again because they're working towards that with Iron Banner as well. Because Iron Banner was kind of the same thing, but on like the quick play side of things, it didn't feel special other than you got tokens and you got to go see Saladin.
Yeah.
But now because they're changing the way the control type works entirely, so it's not going to be the same as quick play control, and they're changing the way that like light level is going to be enabled again. And I think if they follow that same trend with Trials, season 5 Trials could be really good. And I'm really hoping it's going to be really good.
Well, what you just said, like you touched on a couple things that are coming up on the TWAB. We're just gonna start moving through here a little bit sooner at the clip. It's Lit Fam in the TWAB. They talk about Lord Saladin will be making his final appearance in season 3 on Tuesday, August 14th through Tuesday, August 21st. The game is
this Tuesday.
Yeah, this is coming up, guys. Coming up. They've changed it now, so it's no longer the flags. No longer the capture points. You now have the campfires burning at the points,
Which
is such a cool touch. That's such a cool touch. I love it.
Like a lot of this, like minus that one map in Crucible,
Vostok.
Minus Vostok. Like you didn't really have much of that flair of what the Iron Lords like of Rise of Iron, right?
Right. Plus, like Vostok, I like as a concept for a map, but playing on it sucks most of the time. Like,
it's so big. It's better in 6s.
It's way better in 6s. Yeah, 4s is terrible.
Yeah, but this kind of like aesthetic change really plays into the power fantasy of what it's supposed to mean when you go into the Crucible for Iron Banner, and that I can't wait for that. The power play rule sounds really dangerous with that lockout of 20 seconds. I feel like you're going to see so many people like
that could get out of hand really quickly.
Yeah.
But it could also help balance things out because then it prevents that whole like when you get in a team where it's like, say for example, like it's mostly blueberries and you're not coordinating well with each other and all of a sudden you haven't capped a zone in like 3 minutes and the other team has entirely walked away with the score and there's absolutely no way to get it back. I think for sure it's going to really help stop that from happening. And I think that could really benefit the game type in a lot of ways.
They also talk about how in season 4 power will be enabled.
Yay!
That's something I'm really excited about.
Me too.
They needed something other than fire pits to differentiate Iron Banner.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Like when going into like D1, if I was a 360, I knew I was going to get my ass handed to me by a 4.
Yep.
Like guaranteed. And like knowing that if you put in the time and the potential for it going forward in your weapon grind, that you all could have your skill level but also your power level come into account really excites me and might be one like I feel like that's a change that they had to make in preparation for Trials coming back, right?
Yeah. Something is funny because this is one like little detail with Iron Banner that I really kind of hope they bring back because it hasn't been a thing now since D1. I really hope that they give us back the bounty that requires us to wear an Iron Banner shader and an Iron Banner emblem. Because one of the things that always differentiated Iron Banner visually for me was when you'd all load into the tower or into the map and you'd have that cutscene that shows the team. Everybody's shaders would match and the emblems matched. And when you went into the tower or into a social space and you saw somebody wearing that stuff, you knew what they were doing. So like, I want that back again. And obviously, like, it's kind of a pain because you have to switch the shaders on all of your gear, but like, I don't know. I just think that would be a nice, like, little detail that would help set Iron Banner apart, which is definitely the theme that they're going for. And I don't know. I don't know. I just want that back again. At least an emblem. You know, maybe not the shader part because the different shader stuff now, but like at least the emblem.
100%.
Yeah, like Mega just said in the chat, you feel like you're getting dressed up for Iron Banner.
Yes.
Yeah, you're putting on your Sunday best.
Yeah.
All your wolves in the right place.
Yep.
It's great. Season 3 also marks the end of we see a faction farewell. The community in season 3 we introduced some changes, notably the renown mechanic to faction rallies. The community responded with a lot of great feedback about how you could continue to improve the experience. The feedback ranged in topic from experience to rewards, and many of you expressed the following: I don't want to feel forced to participate in every instance of the event each season, and make the event progression a bit less hardcore and more engaging, which I feel is true. Like,
yeah, I have a friend who works a lot, and he has the time to play like 2 hours per week in Destiny, and he was really frustrated by the faction rallies because of how much time you were pretty much required to put into the game for the faction rallies to even like work the way they were intended. And so while I think it's really, really good that they're giving the hardcore, like, for example, most of the streamers, the hardcore community, like, things to do, I think it's also important for them to, like, in a way, back off slightly, just so that way you're not alienating the part of the player base that can't play as much, you know? Because not everybody has the time to put in, like, 20 hours a week in Destiny.
Right.
Or more.
Well, and that's also like a huge thing at the last paragraph of that section where they're talking about the exotic weapon catalyst for faction rallies. Like, yeah, that first faction rally, I ground this shit out of like Future War Cult so I could get that like amazing catalyst.
Yep.
And I've never completed it. I've never gone through and just smashed it out.
Yep. I haven't either. I have the Sunshot Catalyst and I have the Graviton Catalyst, and I've not finished either one yet.
Yeah, I didn't even do the Graviton. I don't know why, but I couldn't be bothered with it.
Like a gentleman, going to. Why would you pledge to that?
I wasn't going to, but I had just started my Hunter at the time, and I really liked the way the Dead Orbit armor looked for the Hunter. And so I decided that I wanted to get all the armor pieces. Well, by the time I got all the armor pieces to drop, or I purchased them, I was at like level 40. I'm like, might as well hit 50. And I did the night before reset.
Oh, nice.
And I got the catalyst, I got the ornament for Eye of Another World, and I felt really protective about myself. And then I don't touch Graviton at all.
Yeah.
I just don't use it.
Me neither. I think for faction rallies, they need to implement a system more similar to what they're doing with Solstice, where they give you, hey, pledge to Future War Cult. Here's base gear for Future War Cult, and now you can level that up. And once you level up one piece, you can buy a gun. And then you level up the next piece, you can buy a different gun. That way, it gives you something to work towards on a more individual level, and then have it count towards the overall faction as a whole.
I think they've done a really good job with Solstice, balancing it out between the like more casual players and the hardcore players. So following that model with Faction Rally would be a huge benefit.
Definitely.
But they're also talking about, so those exotic weapons catalysts, if you weren't able to earn them, they're working on ways for you to get them somewhere else in season 4, or possibly. They said they will not be available at the beginning of season 4, but we will provide more information on where these where to find these rewards when they do become available. So that's neat. There are going to be a bunch of changes to Eververse, including Eververse bounties.
That's awesome. Yes. I think that's awesome.
More ways to get the stuff for free.
Yeah. Yes. I love that they implemented the loot boxes, like kind of similar to Overwatch, where like you can purchase them if you want to, but you don't have to. But I think just giving more people the chance to unlock more things without having to pay money is any of that is just a step in the right direction. Yeah,
like I don't know. So they have the like they're talking about the 3 tiers for Bright Dust. So with Solstice of Heroes, I've been trying to get the glows.
Me too.
And like, have you purchased those? Like, how much Bright Dust did you like have before trying to get those?
I had like 1,000
Yeah.
the first time, and then I purchased like 1 or 2 glows because I purchased one because I didn't have enough dust with me at the time to get any more. And then just because I've been playing Solstice so much, I've gotten a lot of shaders and I've gotten a lot of ghosts and I've gotten a lot of sparrows. And because of the fact that the collections are coming and I don't need to keep these things
Right.
because now that I've unlocked it, I will have it in my collection. I've been just dismantling things and buying glows as I get enough to buy another one. So now I have, I think, a couple pieces of solar, 2 maybe, a void, 1 or 2, and then I have almost a full set of arc. I'm only missing the helmet. So it's been slow progression, but I've been like plugging away at it.
I've been deleting exotic shifts left and right.
Yeah,
just
the
like,
shifts
I don't
too.
need this anymore.
Yep.
This is gone forever to me until it comes back soon. I don't care about the shader on this, even though the transport thing looked kind of cool on it. Let's get rid of that so I can just get all that glow.
Yep.
I was finally able to get like all the void and the solar on it.
Nice.
But they talk about how they're going to have different tiers of each bounty. So like the one that everybody's probably going to want to go for would be tier 3.
Yeah, more bang for your buck.
Exactly. And you get 150 bright dust. Now, I don't know if that's per bounty that you do, or it says it costs 6 Eververse bounty notes. So rewards 150 bright dust. So if that's per week, that's a little light.
Yeah,
like,
that could be a little light.
Then you get a an Eververse note in every Eververse engram, right?
Okay.
So you could theoretically get 6 easily every 2 weeks if you have 3 characters that you play consistently.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. Plus, you could just dismantle the stuff that you get in those engrams for more bright dust.
That's true too.
Right.
That's true too.
They're definitely giving us some flexibility.
Yeah. The Prismatic Matrix returns season 4. You guys excited about that?
Yeah. I liked the Matrix.
I thought the Matrix was really, really good. I was surprised when they just like took it out because I didn't realize at first that it was supposed to only be like a sampler. Yeah. And then the one day I was just like, I haven't earned any of those in a while, and somebody was like, yeah, they're gone. I'm like, what? It seemed weird. It seemed weird to like put them in for such a short time period and then just like take them out. But I guess if they were just testing to see how well they'd go, then it makes sense.
I think it worked. It allowed people to get more of the Eververse stuff that they wanted without having to spend money. Emote. Yeah. I didn't get that though.
You didn't get that though?
No, I got the one I wanted though. Celebration emote. That's top tier right there.
Top tier.
It looks like it works about the same, except for the free weekly prismatic facet will be obtained from a special tier 1 Eververse bounty. This bounty does not require a bounty note and will cost 250 glimmer. Players will still be able to hold 3 prismatic facets at one time.
Yeah, so save up for when you have something you really want.
Collections and Eververse items. Eververse items will be retrieved from the collections interface like all other items.
Sick.
An exception is year 2 Eververse armor, which, like all other armor with random rolls, cannot be reacquired from the collection. The ways in which players acquire and interact with emotes and weapon armor ornaments has not changed. All other items can be retrieved for an expensive price. So all of these seem pretty fair in the long run.
Definitely nothing seems like unreasonable or stupid or like ridiculous.
Exactly.
I'm sure we're still going to get things like the Whisper ornaments and the Iron Banner emote and stuff like that.
You're gonna get an Iron Banner ghost projection this time around, which is kind of a
ghost
neat
projections
idea.
are so cool. I love that.
Yep.
Well, it looks like a Matoishi GIF that he made, a long time ago, of the smiley face being projected above one. Like it almost looks exactly like that.
Yeah.
Which is neat.
I just want more Jade Rabbit everywhere I can have Jade Rabbit. So I'm down with
it. So we have more labs coming to us soon.
That's good.
Yes. They're talking about they were talking about Showdown. Speaking of our first, we met our goals for the rollout, but as noted, the reception of Showdown itself was fairly mixed. Iteration is a critical phase of development, and we've taken some time to reiterate a bit on Showdown based on notes we gathered both internally and externally from all of you. Here's a set changes we've made for the next iteration. Round time limit has been reduced to 90 seconds.
Okay.
Rounds now have a score limit of 10. Revives are now enabled, and reviving a teammate before the respawn will take the points back from your opponents.
Ooh, that is nice.
Interesting.
I like that.
Yeah.
Did you guys play the most recent one, the like zone control one?
I
did not.
honestly have not touched Crucible Labs at all.
Yeah.
I may have forgotten about it.
Oh.
But I also don't play a ton of PvP.
Mm.
So it's just like not on my radar at all.
I will say the new version of zone control was a lot of fun. And if they release that without making it's going to be a competitive mode, but if they release that without making any changes, I'm happy with it. It was very good.
To wrap up, they talked about they have Valor for All. So double Valor week starts 10 a.m. PDT August 10th. That was 2 days ago as of this time of recording. And ends on the 17th at 10 a.m. PDT. So double Valor for this week. Next week.
I didn't realize it was actually lasting a whole week. That's good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Next weekend from the 17th to the 21st, both at 10 a.m. PDT, is triple Valor weekend. They're really wanting people. Yeah, they're really wanting people to hit that legendary mark for their Solstice of Heroes armor.
Yeah, is this Iron Banner supposed to have the ability to earn Valor, or is that not starting until season 4?
Yes.
Because I know that's starting, but I don't know when.
I believe it is because I'm pretty sure I got Valor from playing Crucible Labs.
Okay, interesting.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I know that they had talked about that change. I just didn't know
Okay.
that was going to happen.
Yeah, I didn't know when that was starting.
So following the double Valor week that is this week, and the triple Valor weekend that is next weekend, you have the final double Valor weekend on August the 24th and August the 28th, 2018. Double Valor. Go get your stuff, gang.
Yeah, for real.
Go get your shell from Shaxx.
I'm close to getting the shell. I think I'm like halfway through my second Valor rank up. I'm getting there.
I'm gonna wait until next weekend. Triple Valor is just too good.
That's too good to pass up. That is too good to pass up.
Absolutely. So other than that, anybody else have anything that they would like to add before we move on to questions?
I'm excited.
Nothing I can think of. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yep.
I can't wait to absolutely fling myself into Forsaken.
We've got like what, 3 weeks?
A life? What's
3
that?
weeks?
Yeah. Oh, one last thing. They talk about the Solstice Armor Vital information. I forgot to mention. The one thing that I think is probably the most important out of all that is to remind people that Solstice Armor can only be upgraded during the Solstice Heroes event, which ends at weekly reset on August 28th. So go get your
2
sets
weeks
done.
from tomorrow.
Yeah, go get your sets done. You're running out of time. Go do your bounties. Go do your armor sets. Get that sweet ship. Where are you guys at points wise with Solstice of Heroes? Do you guys know?
I'm gonna start tomorrow right here on Planet Destiny.
Ooh.
I
solid like 80.
No.
I have. It's gotta be probably between 250 and 300. I think I've unlocked the shirt, which you unlock at 250.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much I've earned since then. But yeah, like maybe over 300, but I don't know.
Yeah, I got all of the armor, the legendary armor on my hunter, and finished out all the bounties.
Nice.
So
I still have to do Spire. That's like the big thing that's hanging over my head.
Oh man, that raid, like I enjoy Eater of Worlds tremendously.
I
I
love that
enjoy
one.
Eater's-
Leviathan fairly well. Spire is the one that just does not click with me. I don't know why.
I kind of don't really have any desire to go into that raid.
Yeah.
I want to do it just to have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it's obviously been out for months and I haven't like wanted to do it that badly.
Mm-hmm.
So I've kind of just been like putting it off at this point.
Yeah.
But I just need to do it just to get it done, get it over with, get the bounty done.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's
I want the ship.
mostly a jumping puzzle, right? And that's like my least favorite thing in raids.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like both of them have elements of jumping puzzle, like Eater of
Eater is
Worlds and
heavily-
yeah.
Yeah, but Eater of Worlds jumping puzzle is kind of easy, and
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I've seen
So
some.
you just
some
want it.
Spire-
You like it easy, Zanny. Is that what you're saying?
No, I just don't
Okay.
like jumping puzzles. I could do without
Yeah.
all jumping puzzles.
Yeah.
I'm not good at Mario, Dan.
All right.
I mean a warlock. I'm not the greatest at jumping puzzles either. Although I'm worse on a hunter. Everybody always likes to give me crap for jumping puzzles when like put me on a hunter, I will fall off the map in 30 seconds. Just watch
Right.
me. It will happen.
Alright.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week at Bungie. We will now go to your community questions that you have given to us. Zanifan, you
So
want to
graciously.
do the first one?
All right. Arbiter Priest wants to know, who do you want to see direct the Destiny movie and why?
Ew.
I would say Neil Blomkamp if I hadn't seen Chappie.
You didn't like Chappie?
I didn't like Chappie.
Oh my god, I loved Chappie.
I don't know.
I thought
It was like,
fantastic.
what was that movie in the 80s that was like kind of like Chappie? It was Short Circuit.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that it? Yeah. Kind of reminded me of that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I can see that a little bit. Anything that has to do with consciousness, I'm in. That has a
Yeah.
lot to do with consciousness.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, especially with Forsaken coming out, and the fact that he's worked with Nathan Fillion before, Joss Whedon.
Mm,
We're gonna just remove Justice League from his repertoire.
also,
But,
the first Avengers movie.
I liked the first
See,
Avengers
that
movie.
wasn't bad.
I
That
liked it.
wasn't so bad.
It wasn't great though either.
No,
It's better
it
than
was.
the
Some of
other-
his characterization was way off in left field.
It was definitely like these are all my action figures, like that kind of
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
But it's so good. Like there's so many really great moments in there, like Hulk punching Thor,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
just amazing.
Oh, I loved First Avengers. I thought it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Molly May, what about you?
Who's your
I
director?
don't know. Unfortunately, I used to be more well versed in film than I have been over the last couple of years. And I honest to God can't even think of a director. Like there's nobody coming to mind at all. I'm sure tonight I'll wake up in the middle of the night and be like, fuck. And I'll think of somebody. But at the moment I don't have anybody.
All right.
All Next question.
Mega and I are fighting now also.
They're fighting. Yep. Short Circuit was a great movie, Dan. All right.
All right. Well,
Do you think LMGs will come back, and do you want them to?
I
No.
want them to. I want them to. Do I think they'll come back? I don't think so.
I don't think they'll come back. They've pretty much said at this point that they've made it very obvious that they're focusing on the kinds of weapons that they have. And I don't know. I don't know that I want them to come back. As much as I miss like the Quillam's Terminus and stuff like that, sometimes they were just so brutal. And team shots with LMGs would be terrifying.
Mm.
So I don't know if
The change is coming.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean-
With the changes coming, who knows?
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I've been okay without them, I guess, is my perspective on it.
I miss them. I would love for them to come back. I don't think they're coming back. And I'm sad about it. All right. Do you think the buff that's coming to primary weapons will actually help the balance in PvP? Or do you see special weapons and heavies running the show?
I think it's going to help. I think what they're trying to avoid
Yeah.
is the special weapon meta that we had so heavily in D1. So I think it's really good that right off the bat they're starting with a buff to primaries. As far as, you know, how much of an impact it's going to have, we'll have to see. But I'm glad they're doing it.
I think it will help, and I think that the way they're doing the special ammo economy is a very good middle ground between what we had originally in D1 and what we had at the end of D1, where you get 2 bullets total no matter how many specials you're using, and you drop it if you die. I think that's going to allow for special weapon usage without it being rampant. So.
Yep.
And I think primaries being able to counter some of those is going to really, really help, because we didn't have powerful weapons, primary weapons in D1.
No, we didn't.
Dan, what do you think?
I feel like with the changes to primary being specifically about precision, the changes to damage being about precision damage, you're going to see kind of a mixed bag at first, especially with everybody trying to figure out how they're going to go into this new meta. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you'll probably see specials and heavies at first, but once we start getting random rolls and we start seeing some of the things that those primary weapons can do, I don't know. I feel like the opportunity is too great to discount primaries right out the gate.
It's going to balance out. A lot of people are going to go back to that D1 method because it's what we're all familiar with.
Yeah.
But then it's almost going to be I think it's going to be kind of like when Mida first came out, when Vanilla first launched, and everybody's like, oh my god, Mida, nobody uses anything else. Nobody's going to use anything else. I've run into one Mida in the Crucible recently that I can remember. Like, it's not very common to use. And so I'm hoping that same pattern is going to happen to some degree when we get the weapon changes, because obviously people are going to use, special weapons and stuff as much as they can. But once people realize, hopefully, how good primaries are going to be, it'll balance out. It always does.
I think you're going to see the really good players using a lot of primaries, because they're going to be more high risk, high reward type weapons, where if you can hit your shots, the primaries are going to be very competitive. But if you're a scrub like me, you're going to use shotguns and shoulder charge. And I'm still excited about that too as an option.
Yeah.
All right. Bybee Rain I May asks, what will you guys main come Forsaken and why?
Molly?
I'm gonna main that new Dawnblade because I am a support player. I love playing support, and I wanted warlocks to have healing rifts or to have healing abilities years ago, like way before they announced it.
Oh yeah.
And so the fact that I got a fucking healing rift in D2, I was so excited. And I already loved Dawnblade. I was a Voidwalker main in D1, but pretty much as soon as I started playing D2, I just like fell in love with Dawnblade, even when it was shitty. And so the fact that I can now like be such a strong healer while simultaneously playing the subclass that I love, I'm so excited.
Just gonna be throwing overshields at people left and right.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
Dan,
I'm
gonna Void Blade all the way.
The Void Blade looks so cool.
It looks rad.
You're not gonna use the new tether that will actually trap people like instantly?
No, not gonna use that at all.
Oh.
You get I found later in year 1 that I really liked running up on people and beating the shit out of them with the arc staff.
Ah.
That was my favorite thing in the world. And I feel like that is the void representation of what a hunter can be. And so
It's very close quarters.
yeah, and so if I can keep that in my Ikelos SMG, as long as that stays in the second slot, no matter what it is coming out of it, I would just want to use that to annihilate people. I want to go in, hit people hard, have the Ikelos SMG, and maybe a weeb. Maybe a weeb or two.
A weeb sword.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm also excited because it's one of the devs, I forget who, or no, maybe it wasn't one of the community managers. Anyway, somebody from Bungie on Twitter said that the Void Blades are supposed to be on par with Year 1 Blade Dancer. And even though I didn't play Blade Dancer in Year 1, obviously you always hear the stories about how good it was. So I'm very excited. CK, was it Lupo? Maybe it was Lupo. I don't know.
I mean, he's played it.
Yeah. I think actually it was Lupo. He said on stream that it was going to be on par with Year 1 Blade Dancer.
I need it now.
Yeah.
See, all I'm saying is my favorite thing in Destiny is to make your dreams fail miserably. So when you're coming at me with those Void Blades in my bubble, I'm going to punch you once and you're going to die. And I'm going to be happy about it, and you're going to be sad about it. I'm going to main it's probably going to be the bubble and not shoulder charge, because you're giving me a stronger bubble, and I currently use it. I currently use the bubble.
I'm really glad bubble's getting a buff, because I almost don't see anybody using it, which makes me sad.
It's good. It's currently good, and they're making it better. I use it to lock down power ammo. I use it to lock down. Oh, we've got 2 zones of control right now, and they're all spawning at C, which is the only one we don't have. I'm gonna go pop a bubble on that, and there inevitably someone runs into your bubble. And now you're telling me that I can punch you one time and you die inside the bubble instead of 2 or 3? Yep. I got to keep rocking those syntheceps. It's about the bubble. All right, Subcult619 wants to know, if you could buy an SRL DLC, would you, and how much would you be willing to pay for it?
$10, and yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I would pay money for it. I was gonna say like $10 or $15. Nothing crazy, but I would pay money for an SRL DLC.
Yeah.
I would too.
If they release the raids at say 2 raids, $15. So you get Vault of Glass and Crota's End for $15, and you get King's Fall, Wrath of the Machine for $15. Would you do it?
Yeah,
yes.
I'd do it.
Yeah. Because the raids have a shit ton of content. I would actually almost be more willing to pay for raid DLC than SRL DLC, because the raids are I guess it would depend on how much content would come with an SRL DLC, but just because the quantity of weapons and armor that you can get from a raid and the time that you can put into it. I've always loved SRL, but I put more time into raids than I do Sparrow racing. So, yeah.
I'd pay 5 to 10 for an SRL DLC.
5 to 10?
5
that
to
seems
10.
fair.
That seems fair. Yeah.
Depends on what it comes with.
Yeah, it does. The price point for me would heavily depend on how much content it comes with. If it comes with 2 maps and one or 2 armor sets, the way the last SRL had, I probably wouldn't pay more than $5 for it. If it comes with a shit ton of content, I'd pay more money for it.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably buy a Rockstar for SRL, and if you were to buy a Rockstar Energy Can, which one would you be most excited about? I'm not going to buy a Rockstar.
No, I'm not going to buy a Rockstar at all.
I'm not. I didn't buy them. I didn't buy the energy drinks or the Pop-Tarts before. I don't really plan on buying it again.
I'd buy it and dump it out for SRL.
Yeah.
All right,
I
Mega.
don't drink energy anyway. So
Yeah, me neither. Mega wants to know, our very own Mega Magwitch, if you had a ghost for a week and knew they would revive you from any death, what crazy stuff would you try?
Mafia
God.
hitman.
Oh, yeah?
that was pretty drastic.
Mafia hitman. That's the first thing that I thought of right off the bat.
You think you
You
could
just
really
have-
get indoctrinated into the mafia and be able to be a hitman in a week?
Of course. Of course.
Oh God.
How hard could it be? Like at the end of the week, you don't have a ghost. So if you're going if you take it to its dark natural turn at the end of that movie, what does it matter? What does it matter?
I don't know.
Silence.
I would walk down the street that my my restaurant is on at after dark. Or just like try to fight my customers when they try and lie to me and argue and cuss me out and stuff.
God, I wish I could do that sometimes.
Right?
Working in customer service, sometimes I just want to look at somebody and be like, "You're an idiot." But can I? No.
Nope.
Sadly.
Yeah, I just pick fights. Oh, you're being dumb? I'm going to pick a fight. And if you kill me, I just get revived.
Oh, my Mega in chat. I drink literally everything in my cabinets.
Mega, no. Oh God, no.
Wonderful. Oh, I love you guys so much. I believe
Yeah, that's all the questions.
those are all the questions. So as we approach the end of the program, let's once again, Zanifan and Molly, thank you guys for co-hosting today.
Oh, yeah.
This has been a good time. It's my first time on the podcast.
Same.
Yeah, dude, hopefully it's not the last. You guys
Hopefully.
did excellent today. Much better than I did. Really.
You did great. Shut up.
So, where can people find you around the internet?
First of all, I'm going to call out Mega's Surf Ninjas reference in the chat. Yes, of course. Moto Surf, 100%. That's the best answer for that ghost question. But if you want to find me, I'm at Zanifan711 everywhere. And if you want to listen to my podcasts, you can find those on Twitter. It's at BarelyADS or at BadsLitLore. Check them out.
All right, Molly.
And I'm Mollymayisme on pretty much, like I said before, pretty much every relevant social media platform. So feel free to follow me. Feel free to hang out. You know, I like to have a fun time. I shit post a lot and talk about memes. So if that's your thing, come hang out. So
Excellent. And I'm Danfinity. That's at Danfinity, but the I's are L's on Twitter. You can find me on Twitch just about every day, and here on the Planet Destiny channel on Thursdays. And my podcast Side Quest Sunday is available every Sunday. For those of you in chat, stick around. We're going to send all of this over to someone. So please post in chat who you'd like to send the podcast love over to. For those of you who are listening at home, thank you all, and have a good rest of your evening.
See y'all next week.
see you later.